Remember, we started talking about what was happening in Europe. There was this existentialist movement, this phenomenological, philosophical questioning of who are we as a human race? Who are we? Why are we here? What's our purpose? Abraham Maslow here in the States was paying attention to that. He began to wonder if perhaps we need to answer those questions on an individual level. Humanism grew out of that existential movement, didn't it? And we have these questions as individuals. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Why? We have a lot of why questions. Maslow believed, he came down on the side of free will in the argument, didn't he? He believed we had conscious choice. So, keeping that in mind, last class period, we took a look at not only the original 5-leveled hierarchy of needs, we took a look at a version that's been elaborated upon, that's been enriched or added to. So if you'll recall, it still started with physiological needs. And remember, physiological needs, right, are those needs that we need in order to live. And if we don't have those needs met, we are not going to be worried about whether or not we're going to be able to paint a masterpiece. No, I want to know where my next meal is coming from. My physiological needs have to be met, don't they? The physiological needs, in a review here, of this, the hunger, the thirst, shelter, air, sex, bodily comforts, knowing that I'm clothed and I'm cared for in that way. If those needs are met in a timely, consistent fashion, of course, we move on to the safety and security needs. Am I safe? Am I out of danger? Am I free from threat? Am I protected? Even freedom from chaos, right? And we talked about that comfort zone. If those needs are met in a timely, consistent fashion, we move up the hierarchy into social needs, love, belonging. We want to be affiliated with someone. We want to be accepted for who we are. We talked about that emotional intimacy and friendship, social connections, our support system, and that affection that we so need. And again, when we have found places we belong, situations where we belong, organizations where we belong, affiliations, we then are free to, again, ascend once again to the esteem needs. The esteem needs of having confidence in our abilities to do this or that. The confidence in our efficiency, this confidence in our competencies. We want someone to approve our work. We want someone to recognize where we are valuable, and we all are valuable. It's that need for respect, for some prestige or status, if you will, and that healthy pride, not a negative, selfish, self-centered, narcissistic pride, but a healthy pride. And yes, this is who I am. I recognize who I am. We talked about how the cognitive needs were often assumed as a part of the esteem needs, but they have now been given their own level, if you will. We want to acquire knowledge. We need to understand and explore and have our curiosity satisfied. But during this time, it's also the journey into knowledge. It's the journey into having our curiosity met, as that's as important to us in this stage as actually gaining the knowledge itself. The next level of needs were the aesthetic needs, the need for beauty. I love to watch a sunset. I often feel like that sunset was painted just for me. And that sounds narcissistic, doesn't it? Maybe I need to work on that. But just that moment of, I hope everyone's seeing this. I will often text one of my kids. They're in their 30s. I know. How is that possible that I have children in their 30s when I myself am only 29? I can't figure it out. Anyway, I'll text them and say, go outside, look at the moon. Are you able to see the sunset? Oh my gosh, the sky's beautiful today. The clouds are magnificent. It's like artwork in the sky, those types of things. We have a need to appreciate beauty in art, in music. Come on. You know darn well there's a song that makes you cry. It just touches you so deeply. Or a movie that makes you cry. Theater. Oh my goodness. I've seen The Phantom of the Opera in 5 different theaters. In 5 different theaters in 3 different countries on 2 different continents. That was really difficult for me to say. And every time, the minute the Phantom opens his mouth to sing, tears just start pouring. They just pour. I feel his pain, but the music of the night, that song, oh, it touches my very spirit. Or out in nature, out in our world, the enjoyment of order and symmetry in our lives. I'm getting carried away on reteaching, aren't I? Self-actualization. Self-actualization, remember, was that final stage. We've realized our potentials. Very few people reach this as far as I reside there all the time. We're human. We have some sort of insecurity somewhere, or we have some need that maybe isn't being met. But this is our goal, where we're realistic, we're accepting, and we can be there to a large extent. We won't reside there full time for the rest of our lives, because life isn't static. Life happens. But when we're in this level, we're a problem solver. We can be spontaneous because we've taken care of all of our responsibilities. So we can be spontaneous. We can enjoy these peak experiences where we lose ourselves. And actually, that's when we move into that level of transcendence, right? That flow, actually, as Martin Seligman calls it, where we have enjoyed this so much, we want to help others realize their gifts, their talents, their abilities. It's when we are looking outside of ourselves. We are confident in ourselves. We are realistic with ourselves. We have reached our potential, and now how may I serve you? How may I help you? How may I reach towards you? And we talked about, I gave you a few Paul Tillich quotes there on just how important that really was. Now, here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and put people, let's not say the person sitting next to us, okay? But I mean people in categories. We could say actors or actresses, or actually for a famous person, you might be able to just say their name. Let's put groups of people, historical figures in these. So physiological needs. Who is it? That's right. Babies. Absolutely, babies. They can't do anything for themselves. But we also talked yesterday that we have our basic needs met. We may not know where our next meal is coming from. And oftentimes that's not a baby. That's a homeless person. Absolutely. Absolutely. So once we have those needs met, we move up to safety. So who's there? I'm afraid. Mama, don't leave me. Right. So we have these toddlers that are often there. We could still use homeless for safety. We could. And what else do we have coming up here on the screen? Absolutely, we do. We have people in war-torn countries. I'm afraid to go to sleep. I can hear the bombs at night, right? All right, love and belonging, those social needs. Anybody going into any class for the first time, right? Am I going to fit here? What's my teacher going to be like? Is she going to be a total witch? Is he going to be mean? Are they going to be nice? Whatever, right? We do see a lot of actors and actresses here as well. Yes, we do. You're absolutely right. When I first started teaching this, we had the big news story about, was it Bennifer? Ben and Jennifer Lopez? Was it Ben Affleck? Affleck. So sorry. Ben and Jennifer. So Bennifer. And remember, Jennifer Lopez went through, I think it was 3 different engagements in a relatively short period of time. And so during that period of her life, my students would put Jennifer Lopez there. I don't think she's there anymore. Not that we're judging in any way, shape, or form, but she during that time where I'm in a love relationship. Oh, I'm out of a love relationship. Oh, I'm in a love relationship. Now, in other areas with other family members, she may have had that love and belonging, but in that one arena of her life, that would have been very shaky during that time, right? We also see junior high kids really struggling during this time. Am I going to fit? Am I going to be made fun of? Is somebody going to bully me? Type of thing, right? Now, esteem needs, those confident needs. College students are a great example. College students, what else do we have coming up on the screen? Okay, yes, somebody learning a new habit, yeah, or a new talent, absolutely. Very good. Anybody going into a training program? Absolutely. Very good. Okay, cognitive needs. Oh, lot. Okay, doctors, scientists, lawyers, maybe. We can make jokes, but we're not going to. Cognitive needs, sure. Any of that. Anybody that continues their education, right? Or in any way. I don't mean it has to be a formal education. It can just be reading a lot, studying a lot, that type of thing. Aesthetic needs. Give me some examples of people that just really have their aesthetic needs met. Well, sure, any of the fine arts people. Okay. I see musicians. U2, Bono, U2. Oh my gosh, they're my favorite all-time favorite band. So Bono seems to have this need for beauty in his life a lot, right? Now, oh my gosh, we could probably put Bono at all these levels. And we don't really know personally, I understand that. But he has the need to have beauty in the lives of people by sharing his music. He uses his music to go beyond that. Gosh, for people to connect with one another, love and belonging, for people to feel confident. His one organization in helping to promote politics that speak to social injustice. And again, I'm not telling you what to believe or who to believe, but I'm just giving examples. His need to know more when he first began learning about the HIV pandemic in Africa, he went and studied it firsthand. A father handed a child, his son, to Bono and said, please take him with you. He's going to die here. That need to understand. And then the aesthetic needs of this great beauty, crafting the words he crafts. Van Gogh, even though very, very disturbed, as we know, with a mental disorder, being able to create that beauty. We have that need for beauty in our lives. Self-actualized? Many people do. I see coming up on my screen, I see Oprah Winfrey. I see Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Jesus. Okay, we have quite a few religious people there, don't we? Many times, people in helping professions. That's excellent. People in helping professions, they've realized their potential, and now we're going to transcend it, and that does kind of bleed over, doesn't it? This transcendence, moving up, moving on, moving above, ascending, transcending. Yes. You know, I'll use Mother Teresa. Someone said Mother Teresa is self-actualized. Go ahead and put we're having some of the same people put there. Okay, so yes, self-actualized and transcendent, right? Remember, Mother Teresa struggled with depression. She lived in the streets of Calcutta. She took in people from the gutter, literally from the gutter. I don't know if you've read her writings. I don't know if you've read the writings of people that worked with her. Oh my gosh. She lived with these people with abject poverty, filthy, filthy people. She was depressed by it. Who wouldn't be? And yet she transcended all of that to serve others, to give to others. She didn't stay focused on why this is horrible, this is awful, why me, why am I here in this filth, why do I have to see this pain? She transcended, and she offered hope, comfort. She offered physiological comforts. She offered safety comforts. She offered love and belonging. She built confidence in those around her, the nuns that worked with her. She wanted to know why. Let's learn about this. How can we help these people? Aesthetic needs. The need of the beauty of a loving face. The beauty of personal intimacy, connection. Using her gifts, self-actualized, and then transcending beyond. I love this. I absolutely love this.